doesn't actually exist. The 2 years is up. The kids probably started talking a lot later than they should have. The 2 years is up, but they've already started talking. So that means they're off the list because the kids talking now. It's on the list then, because nobody's getting in yet. So who's on the list? My wife, unfortunately. To get an appointment with the doctor, you state your case as to why you should get an appointment. The doctors and nurses then review what you type and decide whether or not it's important enough for you to get an appointment. In my eyes, they deny people such healthcare that they have already fucking. But that's the problem with socialised healthcare. It's much easier to just say, we could spend about like 200 grand trying to make this patient better, or we could spend like 50 quid on a little injection, make that next level sleep, and then they're not a problem anymore. Thanks for all like that. We're going to start rolling out to people with depression. Starting next year, a new law will allow people suffering from mental illness to receive medically assisted suicide. Holy shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I saw a part of it, but I couldn't watch it. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. So you have to walk me through it.
Like, what did you do that? Like, come on, man, that's personal. What did you do to you to do that to him? He not moving, man. Why is he still doing it? And I'm all wow. What I'm saying right now, you can hear the people in the camera saying, this what the people saying that's in the crowd. Why is he still got your feet on his neck? These what these people say, he go limp. He goes so limp to the people in the crowd say he's not moving no more. Why is he still doing it?
That's that's crazy. Having your brother or any loved one executed in such a manner for the world to see is extremely traumatic. How do you get away from the madness? And how do you insulate your family from this?
We just trying to be happy. I'm a Rubik's Cube to every woman that had me. I dealt with women who feel they got the right to attack me. It's like she always failed to say how it happened exactly. Cause I'm gentle in my nature, they taking advantage. Women trying to beat my ass cause I took them for granted. 6 years, you see me painting this picture. You see me painting this picture. You see me painting this picture.
Barry Weiss in thread number 12 specifically documents and says how there was 20 cases a day of individuals being individually targeted and attacked as Twitter was going on and publicly saying that we were absolutely...
Was there any interference? Any interference? All right, well now the Prime Minister has used words to obscure the answer. Words to, he says, obscure. He says there was not. He says words to obscure in a significant way that would have changed the outcome. That would have changed the outcome. That would have changed the outcome. Was there any interference of any kind?
It was important to take all the steps necessary to protect our democratic institutions.
Not significant.
And as the leader of the opposition will know, we also set up the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians. Also
not significant.
Something that the previous Conservative government didn't do. Also
not significant.
And they have access to that confidential information.
Not significant.
Hey, I got this comment. This guy went online to learn a few things so he could purposely be an internet pseudo-intellectual douchebag. I have to use that as a blurb on my upcoming book. Secondly, I was sitting there wondering, why does it sound not quite right, though? And then it dawned on me, that person didn't order their adjectives in a standard English way. So now I get to prove them right. Here's how English adjectives tend to be sorted. A common example is big red ball. A native English speaker would almost never say red big ball. Size comes first, color later. What if we want to say where it's from? Well, that's going to be a proper adjective. It's a big, red, Lilliputian ball. But what if we're using Lilliputian to refer to its size? Well, then it's a Lilliputian red ball. Anyhow, this commenter called me an internet pseudo-intellectual douchebag. Why does that feel wrong? It's because internet is where I'm from. It's my proper adjective. And pseudo-intellectual is my quality. So that should come first. I'm a pseudo-intellectual internet douchebag. Thank you very much. As long as you're here, look at this other comment that someone left me recently.
Into you, unless you let them. Lately I'm feeling my feelings fully, rising to all my challenges, fearlessly facing bullies. I'm happy in my routine. I used to get overwhelmed until I started putting the work in to love myself. Every day I wake up and run, shower, face mask, read, journal, sit down, breathe, and then I school my son. He tell me play my song. I let depression make me feel like fatherhood was a chore. Boy, was I wrong. I am blessed. blessed. Now I say that with my chest. I am grateful for my breath. I am present in my flesh. There's enough for me to go around. Got so much to give because I give so much to me, and that's the shit that make me free. Apples falling from my tree, I am abundant. Hummingbirds in my backyard, butterflies in my stomach. Living is really something. Kicking it on my hammock, serenaded by chimes. I set up my environment strictly to help my mind, and that's self-love. Passing that generational wealth up, down and inside to side. Everything is by design. Just look in your mirror and see the key. Put it in the door to your cage and set you free, love.
Was going on and publicly saying that we were absolutely not shadow banning. The corporate media was regurgitating their talking points. You can see I just retweeted the official Twitter account from 2018. They said, quote, people are asking us if we shadow ban. We don't. Read more to get all the facts. They're not facts here. Again, this is an official Twitter account tweeting this a couple years ago, gaslighting people, lying to people as they were manipulating our social discourse. And we know that when they do this, they could decide and determine not only the outcome of elections, but have huge, major effects on society with the power to essentially control people's lives.
Wasn't thinking about karma, you moving farther from God, kid. Don't you let the devil's rage enter your heart, kid. Lead a game with the same spirit you start with. If you already changed, then your heart is hard, similar to mine, and it's time for you to start the job. You keep placing the blame, and then you wonder why the outcome always end up the same. Just be gentle with yourself while you processing pain. Asking questions like, damn, how complex is my brain? And bro, the answer is very. And if you're prone to depression, I know that burden is heavy. When you 7 and chronically sad, every day trying to be glad. People do you wrong, now you got a collection of grudges all in your bag.
Like one of those crazy people, you know, those mental healthers that we have always heard so much about. Crazy.
The worst thing that could happen to me is getting famous. Like that, believe me, that's it. You know how poorly I would handle this?
Yeah. Oh, he's having a mental inward crisis.
I think that actually is a big, important thing to bring up, Sean. Like, because I can't imagine. I've had mental breakdowns from doing this stupid internet crap and having like this micro amount of attention on me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotta drive people nuts.
Yeah.
And get people, like, the court process is very important.
Obviously not, because, it's proprietary. It's a trade secret. They have to show
Then
you
why did we pay for it? Then why do we give them all that money?
with government money, with taxpayer dollars.
Yeah,
Absolutely
of course.
goddamn ridiculous.
I'm getting too angry. Sorry. His YouTube account banned. Because he's fucking around.
And you don't trust nobody, you got beef with your mom and your dad. Or your brother doing shit on you like nobody gon' want your ass. You always looking for home, you always looking for love. Nobody to meet your needs, I'm fitting to set you free, bruh. People are gifted at casting spells, but all that really matter how you feel about yourself. And bitter motherfuckers love dragging people to hell. The reason I put my heart on the table like show and tell. And other people's feelings got nothing to do with you. And nothing that they say should affect your personal truth. Imagine a mere man whose goal is to stop the sun from shining. Homie, I promise they can't do nothing to you unless you let them. Lately I'm feeling my feelings fully, rising to all my challenges fearlessly, facing bullies. I'm happy in my routine. I used to get overwhelmed until I started putting the work in to love myself. Every day I wake up and run, shower, face mask, read.
What's happening, everybody? This is your Captain Jack. This is the Fridays Live Plane. This is our version of Soul Plane, and right now I'm in charge of this shit. I don't give a damn about your drinks. Keep them down, keep them up. If you landed and hit your stomach, it's on you. Shaggy, no weed, nobody gets tired. If you're ready to party, if you're ready to have a good time on this flight, put your hands in the air like this. Shaggy and Akon liked my job as captain, got off the plane, went directly to the venue, did the sound check and chill with my assistant for the day. That's my guy. Then I went to catering, got my backstage passes, went backstage, introduced Shaggy and Ashanti. Ashanti was lit. I even helped the roadie set up Craig David. Then I get on. And I'm gonna say the roar of so many people singing your songs never gets old, no matter how much you do it. That's a fact right there. When you do what you love to do, you're blessed. Batman Scoop!